Has Chelsea been successful under Todd Boehly and Bluco? And I want us to talk about I want us to talk about the Chelsea owners. I want us to talk about Todd Boehly, Bluco, Hansi Vies, etc. And if you're a Chelsea fan, if you're a football fan, I just want to ask a very simple question. I have my own answer, I have my own opinion, I have my own perspective. I just want to ask a very simple question. Has Chelsea been successful under Todd Boehly and Bluco? Do you think Chelsea has been successful under these guys, ladies and gentlemen? It took over the reins at Chelsea from 2022. I think that should be February or March, thereabouts. I think sometime. It's going to 4 years now, or it's 4 years. It took over the reins from Chelsea, and the journey began, the love affair began. The first thing they did was to, get rid of Thomas Tuchel at some point. Not quite long, I think 1 month or 2 months. They came in. Thomas Tuchel was, sacked, and Graham Potter came on board. Blah blah blah. We all know the story. Graham Potter left after a few months. I think not up to 1 season. Graham Potter left. Frank Lampard came in on the interim basis. Left. Pochettino came in. I think we've had up to 4 or 5 managers under these guys, or 6. I can't really remember the number. But then the question is, has these guys been successful? After spending £1.5 billion, do you know what £1.5 billion is? 1.5 billion, 1.5 billion pounds. Todd Boehly and Co, Todd Boehly and Egbali, Todd Boehly and Bluco. After spending £1.5 billion, honestly, these guys have not been successful. This is not the way big clubs are being, run. This is not the way to operate big, title-winning team. Like Chelsea has become one of the biggest clubs in the world, thanks to Roman Abramovich during his 19 years ownership. Roman Abramovich took over Chelsea from 2003, and then early 2022 he left. It was almost 20 years. Roman Abramovich turned Chelsea into a force in Europe, turned Chelsea into a force in the world, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Very competitive, very strong. Roman Abramovich got us experienced players, quality players, experienced board directors, world-class staffs, board of directors and everything. It was so good. Like the 19 years was so amazing. It was recorded that for 20 years, Chelsea was the most successful club, I think the most successful English club in England in the Premier League. Yes, Chelsea was recorded the most successful club in the Premier League. For 2 decades, it was recorded that Chelsea was the most successful club in England. But these guys came on board and everything changed. Whatever has happened has happened. This is not the way to run a big club like Chelsea. For me, they are not doing well. These guys, they don't sign us experienced players. We don't have directors with a winning mentality. Everything is done like we don't really understand what they are doing. In Chelsea, it's all about winning. There was a time at Chelsea when we had up to 6 national team captains. Like we had 6, 7 to 8 leaders. There was a Peter Cech. He was a national team captain in his country, Czech Republic. There was a Michael Ballack, German national captain. There was a Michael Essien, Ghanaian national captain. There was John Terry. John Terry was the English national team captain. There was John Mikel Obi, Nigerian national team captain. There was Ivanovic. I think he was a captain in his country too, Serbia. A whole lot of them. But under these guys, we've seen them go for players who are inexperienced. They keep signing players who don't, come anywhere near the standard of Chelsea. They keep on doing this season in, season out, buying young players, inexperienced, wonder kids, super kids. I am not saying buying young players, inexperienced players, wonder kids. There are players, young players, who are exceptionally good. The likes of Estevao Willian, Cole Palmer has been exceptionally good. Estevao Willian is exceptionally good, but you cannot keep going in that direction. You can't keep signing these very young, inexperienced players, bringing them on to Chelsea, and you expect them to do the big things like nights like yesterday. You expect them, come on, they did it in the Club World Cup, fine. We won the Club World Cup finals, thanks to Enzo Maresca and whatever he did on that day. But man, there are nights where big characters matters. There are when you need warriors, like leaders. You get into a team, there are 5-6 leaders. They know that, hey bro, we can't mess up. We need to get this game done. We need to get the result. It's not about, playing around and, just go play the Champions League. And as it stands now, we're not even sure of the Champions League spot next season. It's a shame. This is not what Chelsea is all about. This is nowhere near success. This is nowhere near success. So for me, I think these guys, in some areas, they've tried. When it comes to the financial aspect, balancing the books, the shady deals that took place during the Abramovich era, they've tried to, balance the books, get things done. As a matter of fact, the news of the ban that came out 2 days ago, we saw what happened, and the sanction that was given to Chelsea, it wasn't as severe as we thought it was going to be. All right, they did well in that aspect, but the main footballing aspect, they are nowhere doing well. And I say this is not success. They need to do better. They need to step up. They need to change the way they do things. Otherwise, they need to sell this club, get this club sold, sign good players, sign experienced players, get leaders into the team. Stop looking for yes coaches, yes managers. Stop looking for managers that you're going to control. You're going to, toss around like kids, like an apprentice and all that. That is not what we need. In the times of Roman Abramovich, coaches like Enzo Maresca, Liam Rosino, they wouldn't even be on the wish list. They can't even come, their names wouldn't even be mentioned. I mean, in the Chelsea boardroom, it is nowhere near possible. So I think they need to do better. They need to step up. They need to do the right thing. They need to, they need to ask questions. They need to listen. They need to listen to people that knows how to do these things and do it better. All right. So guys, these are my thoughts. I think this is just what they need to do. So these are my thoughts. Let me have your thoughts, your opinions, and your views on the comment section, guys. Thank you very much. Peace out.